Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Marina and this is my channel about knitting, crocheting and other types of crafting. And this is a traditional weekly vlog. I will be talking about the progress I have made, some plans for the next week, some failures. I will share with you some things about the vest I have been knitting and I have been working on. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with it, how I want to fix some teeny tiny problems I have. I might need to frog it, which I don't want to do, but I'm hopeful I will be able to just fix it a teeny tiny bit, but I will share that with you further. And I will see you at the end when I have a little more updates for you. So I decided to make a very quick video. I finished putting together, assembling my vest, and I found out that for some reason, I don't know how this happened, over here when I needed to start the underarm only on one side, I needed more rows than I actually needed. So basically on the back, underarm starts lower, and on the front, underarm line starts way higher. So, and I mean, it's done. I seamed it together, and on one side, it's all good. There is perfect. On this side, I mean, that's drastically different. So I will be frogging front part right now. And knitting it one more time to be able to be done tomorrow, sew it together one more time and start working on the final pieces. But I'm happy with the result. I think it's not super perfect, but hey, that's my first vest, so I'm glad it turned out pretty good. At the beginning of the week, I had to unravel the front panel of my vest. The armhole shaping didn't line up with the back, and I knew I couldn't just ignore it and keep going. After knitting a bit farther, I realized that one front panel was shorter than the other. So I added about 10 more rows, and even now I feel like they're not perfectly identical. At that point, I decided to stop overthinking it, sew the vest together, and move on the neckline. The ribbon turned out a little stretchier, and my first instinct was to rip it out right away. Instead, I chose to wash and block the piece first, just to see how the yarn would behave. After blocking the stitches relaxed, everything looked so much better and more even, and the fabric settled nicely. I still think I might re-knit the neckline, not because it has to be perfect, but because I want to be truly happy with the finished piece. I also started unraveling the sweater I purchased in a second hand, the one with the very nice yarn. step by step, very slowly, because it's not that easy as it might seem. It is actually taking a very long time to do this. Also, I wanted to point out that this part is combined not just yarn, but also it has that stretchy part here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use both yarns or I will need to separate it, but I'm keeping it together right now. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I have a few more things to share with you. As you know, I started frogging the sweater I purchased in a secondhand store, and I can tell you that it's not that easy as it seems, because I thought that we'll just cut it somewhere and just pull it apart. It should be pretty easy, but it actually not, probably because I'm doing it first time in my life. I feel I just need to keep going, and I have few projects in mind, and this might turn out into something very beautiful. So stay there with me. Next week I'll be sharing how the frogging process going. I want to get this entire sweater done. At this point I was able just to separate part of ribbon and remove the bottoms, which was the easiest part probably. So be on the lookout for that, and I'm hopeful next week I will start doing something new and cool with this yarn, because it's just so soft. I love it. It's nice. And another project, as you know, I have been working on the basket for daughter's room. I'm done with the bottom, so I think that should be more than enough for the purposes I want to use it for, and I will start working on the sides right now. I'm thinking about, I have not that much yarn left here, so I will probably do a couple rows of a gray, then add white. Maybe if I have gray left, I'll finish up with gray, or add a beige yarn. I still have it there. Just want to use this up and be done with that project. Might be way easier if I purchase a special yarn for the baskets, like a tricotage yarn, or know how you call it. I believe it would be much easier to work with that type of yarn. This one is pretty thin, and you need to make zillion rows to get the diameter you really want. So it just takes a while, and also when you are crocheting, it hurts your fingers, because when you're going through each stitch, it's not that easy to just like push it through, and you often just hit your finger. But yeah, it's going. I would say I'm halfway through that, and I'm hopeful I will be done with that next week. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your stay up until the very end. I hope to see you next week, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you next time.